Hey everybody, and thanks for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. So, I wasn't going to do a Blu-ray pickup till Tuesday because Glass comes out and I was going to wait for Glass. And I think I'm going to attach this video to that video. But I'm out and about right now. Wasn't planning on it, but I checked out the pawn shop again and I've been picking up some movies, so I figured I might as well just make a video of a Blu-ray pickup and attach it to the Blu-ray pickup I was going to do on Tuesday for Glass. So the first thing that I found was The Edge of 17. The Hailee Steinfeld coming of age story. This is so good. This is bound to become like a classic movie. I love this. This is probably Hailee Steinfeld's best performance that I've seen her give, and I really enjoy that movie. The next movie I got is one I haven't seen yet, but I want to see. I heard it's really good, is The Artist. I heard it harkens back to like old cinema, so I'm really interested in checking that out. And this was actually really cool. This is something that I was not expecting to find anywhere. I even checked on Amazon, and it's even hard to find on Amazon. It's a very underrated Ryan Reynolds movie, in my opinion, called Buried, where he's trapped underground in a box for like the entire movie, and his only means of communication is a cell phone that he has that slowly, the battery's dying. Great movie, in my opinion. I really dug it. I really liked it. And so it was really cool to find that in the pawn shop today when I haven't seen it anywhere else. I watched that maybe a year ago, and I just haven't seen it in any of the marketplaces, so to find it just randomly sitting there in the pawn shop was fantastic. And yeah, pretty sure we're gonna go to some other places, because I'm with my brother again, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to some other places and pick up some more movies, so we'll see you there. Alright, so we just came out of a new place, the Movie Mart. It's the last standing movie rental place that we have in my city. And I heard from a friend that you could buy Blu-rays here, so I decided to check it out. And I bought a couple. I bought some titles that I'm very happy with, and I was very happy with the service. The guy in there, when I was buying the movies, he wiped down each disc, and I appreciated that. That was really great customer service and made me feel very, very appreciated. So the first title that I picked up, Boyhood. Just a remarkable achievement in cinema. It was shot over 12 years, the same cast, watching a boy grow up and just go through life. Not the most exciting movie ever, very heavy in the drama, but I really appreciate the craft of it, so I was happy to pick that up. Next movie I got, which was a steal by the way, was Up. I've talked about it before. Disney movies, Disney knows what they have. They're really expensive and the prices on them just keep going up. But to have Up for the price that I found it in there, I was very happy with. Very happy to add that to my Disney collection on my Blu-ray shelf. Next title that I got was Predators. The sequel, really, to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator, but it takes place on like their planet. Not a bad movie, pretty decent. I enjoy some of the action sequences in it, and the Predators are cool. Not a big fan of some of the things that they do within it, but kind of cool to have that next to my Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator movie. Next title I got was The Thing, from 2011, I believe. No, 2010. From 2010. It's a prequel, prelude, reboot kind of thing. Wow.
You're so stupid.
So stupid.
Gosh.
Prequel, prelude kind of movie to John Carpenter's The Thing. So I heard it wasn't bad, so I kind of want to check it out and see how well it connects or ties into the John Carpenter version. Another movie I got was The Fault in Our Stars. Just a really sweet teen romance movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I watched it with my sister one night, and I enjoyed it. I liked it, and the performances are really good. It's a really heartwarming story, and yeah. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Ansel Elgort? What's his name? Yeah, Ansel Elgort and Shailene Woodley. Pretty good in the movie. Great chemistry together. Really liked them as a couple. And the last movie that I picked up from Movie Mart, Central Intelligence. A decent comedy. Not that hilarious in my opinion, but I do enjoy The Rock and Kevin Hart's chemistry. And the thing that they had in there was, for every $5 Blu-rays that you buy, you get the third one free. So this ended up being my free one, and I don't mind having Central Intelligence for free. Alright, I think that's going to wrap up this part of the video. I will see you tomorrow, or in your case a few seconds, when we go pick up Glass on Tuesday. See you then.
A few moments later.
And just like that, we're at Tuesday. A day for me, a milliseconds for you. kind of weird to think, isn't it? I went through a day, you went through milliseconds, and here we are, both on Tuesday, going to get glass. We're going up to Walmart, we're going to find glass. I heard or saw online that some Walmarts have this exclusive, like, triple feature of Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. So I'm going to have my eye out looking for that. But if we can't find that, we're just going to pick up the standard Blu-ray. But it's going to be a fun adventure. You're going to come with me. We're going to go pick up the Blu-ray. And we're going to have a fun time doing so. But first, we have to get gas. Because I am on E.
Well, maybe E means extra fuel.
Nope, it means empty. We're gonna go get some gas and then we're gonna head up to Walmart. It should be a fun day. I'm glad you're coming along with me. Thank you for joining me for this Blu-ray pickup, and let's go. Okay, so now that we have gas, let's head on up to Walmart. Gas prices suck. Alright, so we've reached our destination of Walmart. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna look for the Blu-ray or the triple feature. I'm kinda hoping to find the triple feature, so we're gonna look for the triple feature. If not, we're gonna pick up the standard Blu-ray of Glass. So let's get in there and let's go have a look. Ah, there we go. So that's the standard Blu-ray right there. Ah, perfect. This is what I want. Yeah. Exclusively at Walmart. The triple feature. Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. The M. Night Shyamalan Eastrail 177 trilogy. I guess that's what they're officially calling it. Boom! There we go. We got it. We got the triple feature. That's what I wanted. I really wanted the triple feature. The standard Blu-ray would have been cool too, but I'm really glad to have the triple feature because I did not have Unbreakable. I didn't own Unbreakable yet. I have Split. I got Split for a pretty cheap price, but I'm fine with having it again in a triple feature. Now it's funny because when I went to see Glass, I was looking for Unbreakable to buy, but I didn't find it at a price that I wanted it at, and I kind of figured in my mind, I was like, okay, once Glass comes out, there's gonna be some kind of triple feature of Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, right? Like, I just kind of figured there would be, and what do you know? There it is. Right there, the M. Night Shyamalan, what's it called? The M. Night Shyamalan Eastrail 177 trilogy. I guess that's the official trilogy name. I like it. I like the trilogy name. It makes sense in the scheme of things once you've seen all of them. I do have one nitpick. Let's call it a nitpick about the cover though. I don't like that Unbreakable's at the bottom and Glass is at the top. I kind of want to read it from the top to the bottom, so I'd rather have Unbreakable up there than Split than Glass. But that's a nitpick. I can deal with that. I can look at that and not get bothered by it, or learn to not be bothered by it, to be specific. And yeah, Glass is kind of a special movie to me because not only did I like it, even though there's a lot of people that had problems with it, and I can see where the problems that they have in it come from. I really like the movie, and you know, I just look at this and I see someone, M. Night Shyamalan, like him or not, he completed his vision. It took him years to get it made and get it financed and finally complete his vision, but he completed his vision with this trilogy, and I think that that's really cool. Like the vision or not, like the way that it ended or not, this is some guy's creative mind, a story that he had in his mind for years, and he finally completed it, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's kind of inspirational in a way. But yeah, Glass is the movie that when I saw it in theaters, I finally decided to start this YouTube channel. For better or for worse, we'll find out, time will tell. But I was sitting in Glass watching it, and up until that point I was only doing Facebook posts on my Facebook status talking about a movie that I just saw because I was realizing I wasn't really posted on Facebook. All I really wanted to talk about was movies, so I figured why not? So I just posted my thoughts on movies that I had seen, and people ended up kind of liking them. So I just kept doing it on Facebook, and people were telling me that I should try and do something more with it. And YouTube channel came up a lot, and I didn't really want to do that. I didn't think I had it in me. I didn't think I was good enough at it or would be good enough. You know, there's so many minds and thoughts and opinions out there. I would just be a little minnow in a vast ocean of sharks that have already made it. So I didn't really see the point of it. But after Glass, I just kind of felt it was the first movie I saw in the new year, and I was like, you know, what better time than the present to start? So I went into my truck and immediately just shot a video, which was horrible. It's the first video on this channel. It's horrible. And then I found some kind of editing app on my phone that I used and fixed all the things that I didn't like in the first video. But that's kind of where it started. It started with Glass, and you know, I've been having fun with this channel ever since I started doing it. I have some ideas for it that I want to get done. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I kind of have this movie and M. Night Shyamalan's vision to thank for that. So there you go. All right, so let's get home and let's talk more about Glass and a couple more like Split and Unbreakable. And also, mind you, 2 days ago, a day and a half ago, we'll say, on Sunday, I went out and bought a couple more movies, and we're gonna go and talk about those too. So let's get back home and talk about these movies and end this video. There we go. They're home. Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. And yeah, I actually think the trilogy works really well. You know, I remember when I went to see Split, I was watching some of the M. Night Shyamalan movies to lead up to it. The first three I watched, Sixth Sense, Signs, and I ended with Unbreakable. So when the tie-in to Unbreakable happened, I was like, oh, whoa, what's happening here? And then, yeah, a couple weeks after the movie, M. Night Shyamalan announced on his Twitter that he was working on Glass, which was the sequel to both Unbreakable and Split. And after seeing the Glass movie, I think it's more of a sequel to Unbreakable than it is Split. Split really is the spin-off of the series, and Unbreakable and Glass connect more than Split does to me. But I still think the trilogy is a solid trilogy. I think it works really well. I like the way it ends. I know a lot of people had a problem with it. I like the way that the trilogy ended. It felt right to me. And I really like the trilogy a lot, and I'm very happy to have it as a triple feature. I kind of figured that's what they were going to do, and I'm really glad that they ended up doing it. But as I mentioned before, on Sunday, I did go out and pick up a few other movies on a spontaneous buy. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't planning to buy anything. I was just out and about, and I started going to some places, and I bit the bug. I went for it again, and I bought some more movies. So let's see what I got, and let's talk about those for a little bit. First one I picked up was The Artist, which I had not seen. I watched it the other night, though, and it was not what I was expecting. What I was expecting was I heard this movie was black and white, and I harkened back to old Hollywood, but I thought it was like the circa of like 1940s, 1950s. What I was not expecting was this film is a silent film. It actually takes place in 1927 to 1933, I believe. It's about a silent film star who gets left behind once the talkies, once audio gets added into movies. He kind of gets left behind, and he kind of becomes a washed-up actor, and it's kind of like his descent into depression while this other actress rises to fame. And I really liked the movie. The movie was great. I am not, like, an expert on silent film, but I've only seen a few in my lifetime. I've seen some of the Charlie Chaplin, like Sherlock Jr., and supposedly the first documentary ever made, Nanook of the North. Both really good movies, and both silent film movies that I enjoyed. So I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on the subject, but I am familiar with the type of filmmaking, and I gotta say that The Artist is a fantastic silent film. It's a fantastic movie on its own. It's really cool. It feels exactly like a 1933 movie. It's got like the 4:3, I think that's what it is, ratio with the black bars. And the only thing that gives this movie away from not being from the 1930s is that John Goodman's in it. Because it's actually a French film, so I didn't really recognize any of the other actors and actresses in the movie. But John Goodman kind of plays like a studio executive of it, so he was what gave it away. But if I had not known that this movie was made in like 2012, 2011, I would have sworn it was from 1920s to 1930s. They nailed it. It looks so good. It's a fantastic movie. Even if you're not into silent films and you want to get into silent films, I would recommend checking this out. It's just a great story, and I really love the way that it was made and the way that it was acted. Everything about it was just perfection for what it wanted to be. What it wanted to be was a silent film from the 1920s and 30s, and it just hit it. It's perfect. I'm sure there are some, but I can't think of a flaw with this movie. So I really, really dug The Artist. I was really happy I picked that up after I watched it. The next one I got was The Thing from... what year was it? 2011, I think it was. 2010, 2011. Essentially a remake of the John Carpenter's Thing, which is a remake of the 1950s Thing, so it's just another remake. Very similar to the John Carpenter movie in a lot of ways, but by the end of it, it's actually like a prequel, a prelude to the John Carpenter Thing, and it's kind of cool, the things that they do to tie it in to the John Carpenter Thing. I really liked it. I really liked those tie-ins, but, I mean... the CGI in this movie just shows why I like practical effects so much, because the CGI in this movie is not holding up very well. And the CGI really took me out of the movie more than the practical effects in the John Carpenter thing did. And I mean, what the heck is this thing? That looks awful! Who on earth thought that was a good idea? But yeah, despite all this stuff, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It had some really cool moments in it, and yeah. Some of the CGI was good, and it did have some practical effects in it, and some makeup work that I thought was really good, but they really do trade that in for CGI, and I don't know. It just doesn't affect me as much as the practical effects in the John Carpenter version did. There's a lot of scenes in that movie that also, like, are straight out of the John Carpenter version as well. Next movie I got was Central Intelligence, a comedy starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart. It's okay. I watched it with my dad on video on demand one night. It was fine. I had a couple chuckles and laughs in it. I kind of do want to check it out again. And the place that I got at Movie Mart had a deal where every third $5 Blu-ray that you buy, you got for free. This ended up being my free one. So if I get Central Intelligence for free, I'm not going to complain that much. Up next is The Fault in Our Stars. A really, really good teen romance movie dealing with cancer, and just the romantic chemistry between Ansel Elgort and Shailene Woodley I think is really good. I really like these guys as a couple. I really like Ansel Elgort in the movie. I love the line that he has when he has a cigarette but he doesn't light it. And he says something along the lines of, you let the thing that can kill you in between your lips, but you don't give it the power to kill you. He says something like that. I really like that line. I just thought that was a really cool idea, and I really liked the movie. It's heartbreaking though, isn't it? Sad movie. Up next, I have Predators. Predators is really a sequel to the Predator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very loosely, though. There's really only one scene that really ties it into the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. And I like it. It's okay. It's got some cool Predator designs and some action in it, and you got to see the Predator's planet and stuff like that. But there is stuff in here that they did that I don't like, specifically mostly having to do with Topher Grace's character. There's things that they do with his character that I'm not into. I don't like it. It seemed dumb to me, but overall it's a fine movie. I don't mind it, and it's got some good Predator action. Still better than the Predator that Shane Black put out this past year. Oh man, I felt bad. I really wanted to like that movie, and it felt so poorly written to me. Up next we have Boyhood. Not like a really rewatchable movie to me, but I do really appreciate the filmmaking and ambition that this movie had. It's shot over 12 years using the same cast. This boy grows up to be this boy. It's the same actor, shot over 12 years. I really like that. That's just the dedication to filmmaking that this guy had. That he had this idea of, like, what if I shot this movie for 12 years and actually watched this boy, instead of recasting, we actually watched this kid grow up into adulthood. And I just think that's a really cool idea and concept, and the fact that they pulled it off I think is really cool. It is heavy on the drama though. It's not that exciting of a movie, but just the ambition and the determination and the love and work that went into this craft I just really like. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to pick up Boyhood, and I kind of want to rewatch it again. I've only seen it once. Up next we have a Disney Pixar classic with Up. Up is not one of my favorite Pixar movies. The beginning, the first 10 minutes of this is always talked about because it is really good. His relationship with Ellie being told in the first 10 minutes of this movie, basically like a short film in and of itself. But no one ever really talks about the rest of this movie, and I think that's mostly because it's kind of not forgettable, but it's not as good as the first 10 minutes are. Everyone references those first 10 minutes, but they never talk about the rest of the movie. And the rest of the movie I think is good. I think it's okay. And I just have nostalgia attached to this as well, because I remember my grandparents taking me to see this movie, and I have memories of it. The excitement I had to see it, and the anticipation that I wanted to see it and have my grandparents take it, and just a fun time with my grandparents. I kind of have nostalgia attached to the movie, so I wanted to pick it up. And I do like the movie. I think it's good. I just think those first 10 minutes gives it way more credit than it actually should deserve, but Russell's adorable little kid, and his relationship with Carl Fragrance I really like, and it's got some good humor in it. I really enjoy the movie. Next we have, I believe, a very underrated film with Buried. Before he was Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds was Buried. I was shocked when I found this in the pawn shop, honestly. I've looked on Amazon for this, I couldn't really find it. I found one copy that was being resold, but it was like $50 or something like that, which I thought was ridiculous. So finding it at the pawn shop randomly that one day was really cool. I really like it. It really is a claustrophobic movie. This guy played by Ryan Reynolds is trapped in this box, and as the movie goes on, he gets more and more stressed out and frustrated because the only means of communication he has is with his cell phone, and the person he's talking to on the other end isn't helping out that much. So he gets really frustrated and fed up, and just to see him slowly, it's kind of tragic to watch, but I just really appreciated it because it all takes place in this one box. It's a very claustrophobic environment, but I myself never found myself bored. I was intrigued the whole time. I wanted to see what happened to this guy. I was rooting for this guy. I really liked Buried. I didn't like everything in Buried, but I liked Buried, and I was really happy to find it. If you haven't seen Buried yet, I recommend checking it out. It really shows Ryan Reynolds' kind of range, too, because it's not a humorous movie. Ryan Reynolds is really known for his humor. He has to go to a dark and dramatic place in that movie, and I think he pulled it off really well. And finally, the last movie that I picked up was Edge of 17, the Haley Steinfeld Bound to Be classic. I watched this, I think twice the year it came out. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good coming-of-age story. I like the relationship between Haley Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson as the teacher in this movie. And it's just a really classic kind of coming-of-age story that kind of harkens back to some of them in the 80s, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Breakfast Club. And I do think that it's one of Haley Steinfeld's best performances that I've ever seen her give. And I really like the movie. I want to watch it again. Anyway, guys, those are my pickups. Thank you so much for joining me for this Blu-ray pickup, the Pickup Glass, Split, and Unbreakable. I know there's a lot of movies here, but what do you guys think of these movies? Comment down below. Let me know. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions about these movies, or even just one of them. Guys, thank you so much for coming on this Blu-ray pickup with me. I had fun. I hope you had fun. Thank you for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. Once again, my name's Zachary Milne. Thank you for talking movies with me, and hope you have yourself a great day.